Let's get it. Well, peace, 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 and prosperity to you and yours. We are here at 12:12, 12:13 Eastern Standard Time. And we are with yours truly, King Adonis. And I'm here with the numerological, astronumerological, numerovator, decoder, decipherer, tarot, mystic, oracle, the greatest and the truest and the Virgo Moon Gang out here in these spiritual streets. Welcome on and everybody to this divine miracle moon magic ray day. I am here with Sunshine Monet L. Let's Nobodies. Thank you for being here. How you feeling on this divine evening?
Peace, peace, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for the intro. I love it here. I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this energy. We're in our Virgo moon energy right now, and I'm very happy about it. I get, very organized around this time of the month. So it's a good time here.
Ashe, Ashe. Shout out to happy Gemini season to all the Geminis tapping in, tuning in during this time. Shout out to everybody's bodies, ancestors, lineage as we flow through these cosmic oceans and portals of time space. And we are here to contemplate the upcoming blue moon and seeing how the energies are being expressed in the now and how they are going to help us transform, bring forth clarity, and awaken to the true and higher purpose of this great experience that we call life. Under the great guidance of Mother Moon, as we are embodying the Cancerian energy, and the moon is still in Virgo, so we got the Virgo energy on and popping here to bring the collective the details from the goddess of the astrological logical archetypes and bring forth the messages. So happy to be here.
Very happy to be here.
So starting off, we are gonna run through some of the gates, some of the elements, some of the houses, maybe a little bit of poetry, and allow the miracles to flow freely. So, would you like to start off with the astrological alignments
Yeah. Are we going for today or are we going for on the blue moon?
for the blue moon?
All right. So for the blue moon, we have the moon will be in. So you guys know I go back and forth between the Vedic and the tropical chart. Tropical chart is how we think things are, our thought process based upon like our education, how we came up, and then Vedic or sidereal is um, more so where that planet is at in the constellation rather than the zodiac, and that's how things are actually happening. Uh, so Vedically speaking, or on a sidereal chart, we do have the moon being at 14 degrees Scorpio constellation. It will be in Sagittarius zodiac in that space. So in our mindset, it's about that joy, expansion, abundance, and wisdom, nurturing our sacral chakra. And what's happening around us, it's going to be a nurturing of transformations happening around us, secrets coming out, uh, whatever grudges you holding on to, jealousies, things of that nature, moving in power. Um, that's what's going to be happening while your mindset is on the Sagittarius abundance energy. We also have the moon rules Cancer energy. So we'll be having the second house in that Cancer energy. And Scorpio constellation will actually have the sixth house over there. This is also going to be a micro moon, you guys. So the moon will be at apogee, meaning it'll be at its furthest point at the from Earth. So not only will this be a blue moon, our second flower moon, this moon will also be in alignment with, its Lilith space and being a micro moon. So we get that full moon experience in our primordial self. You may find yourself being triggered in this space with a lot of energy that you hide in yourself, that you find shame in yourself. And it's really about nurturing that and that's that connection between the tropical sacral Sagittarius energy and what we find joy in and our pleasure seeking self. Some of us are ashamed of what we find pleasure in. I know, social media is supposed to like help us communicate, but I think social media has put a lot of handicaps on how we communicate. And one of them for certain is people being in their authenticity, because the individuals they want to be around, or the kind of conversations that they want to have, when they get around these individuals, they realize what their personal internal law is. And a lot of people have the tendency to express their internal law like it should be a law that everyone should follow. And if you don't follow, you're not this, you're not that. So hopefully this moon in Scorpius, Sagittarius, one is going to reveal what some people's pleasures are. And for some people, it's going to be like, oh, wow, you like this, you can't sit with us. However, it's still a freeing experience to be in your authenticity with what it is that you do, what it is that you stand for, what it is that you represent, so that you can be around the energy you're supposed to be with to cultivate that. So, shouts to the moon, teach you guys how to nurture that Scorpius Sagittarius energy, and also for those who do project their internal law, because Scorpio does deal with the external side of the solar plexus chakra, where we enforce our law. So, hopefully, those who do have that overactive solar plexus chakra, coming into some terms with their sacral chakra, that Sagittarius energy that shows that your law has to be projected for you to feel accepted. Why do you need to feel validated by other people following what you're saying should be true and right for you to feel, like the leader in the room, or for you to feel true and right? You know what I mean? And why are you being so triggered by other people not following your internal law, your boundaries, your order you've created for yourself? And is it restricting to your own sacral chakra? These are all things, conversation journal entries and stuff, you could have with that moon placement.
Yeah, that's so dope because that sacral energy alignment too for the blue moon is going to be that sacral activation, and in the human design, the sacral center is the energy where it's like, are you doing enough, or are you doing too much, or is it and it's really about being able to balance and navigate those sacred pleasures, those sacred desires, and listening to those gut feelings, and being able to, as they say, think on one's feet, to be able to navigate and guide through the emotional waves as well. Because what's with this blue moon, it's happening in the gate nine, and the gate nine in human design is the gate of focus. And so it's really calling us to be able to focus on our desires, focus on our passions, focus on the wisdoms that we have accumulated up until this time, so that we can be able to properly sit with those spaces and tables, and with the people who have supported us, with the people that we want to grow with, because the moon is, being the ruler of Cancer, 1221 for the numerological alignment. It's the completion of bringing the home and the family together under the alignment of, the things that you feel. And not to say that all your feelings, emotions are facts too, but recognizing and knowing the difference, so that when we're showing up and focusing and highlighting the internal aspects that are bringing about transformation in these feelings, um, it's easier to decode and decipher where the energy is coming from, and how to navigate those feelings as well. For this blue moon, one thing that I really thought was interesting was this the sun conjunction with uh, the sun's conjunction in the gate 34, I believe. And that gate 34, well, actually, that's where the earth is right now, excuse me. The gate sun, let me double check. We have, right, 34. It's going into the energy of more of that sacral energy, more into the groundingness, because that it's the Sagittarius Gemini axis, right? And it's grounding into the energy of where we are expanding to, where we're communicating with, where we're growing in our mind, where we are maybe like traveling to. I know that like recently I've been coming up with a lot of travel plans. So like this blue moon for me is really opening the door and the portal to be able to explore and open more horizons. Also, like studying in the Duolingo app and getting caught up on like my Spanish, because when I was in high school, I passed my Spanish regents. So like now, like as an adult, I'm like, oh, I used to do that. So let me tap back into my foreign language studies. So those spaces have been really dope as well.
That's so funny for that. I've been talking about Duolingo, and I actually recently had a conversation. Somebody asked me like, "Well, what language would you learn?" And I was thinking about it, and I was like, "I don't know. I mean, if, what languages I would learn would be what I'm already like teaching myself, so I can read certain documents, like leave Latin, Hebrew, Arabic, because I want to read certain things and I want to read it in its original form rather than a translation. So." Uh, That is also a big thing, like for the foreign interaction, wanting to get into other cultures and their wisdom and their spirituality is also a big thing too.
Yes. And one thing that is like really coming through for this new this blue moon energy is the fact that this is like a rare space and time, and like this point in like being has never been like experienced before. Um, what are some of the like aspects that you think are helping bring in this energy of like enthusiasm as far as it speaks to like culture?
Um, As far as like interacting with cultures outside of stuff, we do have on the blue moon, we will have the fortune line there. We'll also have the DC line there as well, bringing seven. We know that seventh house energy, that Libra house is Venusian, and Venusian is about value, so value and prioritizing that Sagittarius energy. The fact that there's fortune there and that Sagittarius energy, so people will realize that it'll actually benefit them, and they are realizing as you know um, these placements approach the Sagittarius energy being present, that interacting with people outside of your own culture is actually beneficial, and it will assist you in wherever it is that you're trying to do what you're trying to do, whether it is learning a new language, or some of you guys changing currency, some people changing, their nationality, they're going to other countries, becoming expats or dual citizenship, some people learning how to get along with other people of other cultures to community build, or do a financial project, or just work together, period. A lot of cultures coming together once we realize, a sense of commonality when it comes to, what we want out of life. And definitely the way the government has been moving, the different departments, especially the Department of Justice, the Department of Homeland Security, and have been moving, is like calling on the collective to come together despite differences, align with other countries, learn about what's going on with other countries. You have, what's happening at the Strait of Hormuz, what's happening with Iran. You have what's happening down in Venezuela, what's happening in Cuba right now. These are all, that pushing conversations around the dinner table, for people whose families are, engaged in military and politics, and, the economics that is being affected by these different things. And so that is still Sagittarius energy, because now it's calling on people to actually learn about those cultures. Like, well, how did this all start? How did this begin? Why are we, you know, hopefully it's like calling on people to do their research rather than having, just emotionally driven um conversation. And I see more so people taking the time to get more intellectually involved, because in addition, we know Sagittarius is mutable, Gemini is also mutable, and we have a lot of placements going on in the Gemini energy. I know that tropically speaking, the sun is there, but let's get into the Vedic because I want to talk about what's happening. We have Mercury over here in Gemini, so it becoming a part of our daily routine to be intellectual, the light traveling. Um, Communications is a big one with Gemini. We know that tropically speaking, in our thought process, Uranus is over there providing revolutionary progressive pushes in Gemini. Um, while it's still in the Uranus constellation, providing those pushes in what we value, what we prioritize. Venus is also in here in Gemini constellation with Mercury. Venus is what we value, what we prioritize, what we find beauty and love in. Business is heavy here too. Um, we have Jupiter here providing that expansion and abundance still in Gemini constellation. It's at 28 degrees Gemini. So it's in that mutable area of the Gemini constellation, slowly making its way out before it hits Cancer constellation. And we also have the ascendant energy here. So our energy as a whole is in this space of intellect, community, opportunities, learning how to be flexible and focused. This is a time for definitely mutable energy at this point in time. If you find yourself heavily fixed on anything, hopefully that Taurus energy, rung it out of y'all a little bit. I know the sun is still in Taurus constellation for a few more days. But hopefully this energy here will teach you guys how to, be flexible with your call to action. Again, coming back to what I was saying in the beginning, how we enforce our internal law. That's how we can be sometimes with our solutions as well. So keeping in mind, you know, one solution is not a one size fit all. It's not, so be mindful of that with your projections. So we can get into this on a mutable level, or we can get into this on an air elemental level because, along with Gemini, we do have like Aquarius energy. We have Pluto providing transformations while Uranus is up there providing the progressive pushes. So a lot of things are changing in people's communities, people's place in society, how people look at society. And that's also, providing that enthusiasm for the interactions and stuff like that too. Or we could stay immutable and talk about Pallas, Saturn, and Neptune over
Yeah.
there in Pisces.
I love that. I love all of that. I wish I could drop a mic drop all us right there. You know, one thing that came up while you were speaking was that Uranus energy with the progressive pushes, and Uranus right now is conjunct or almost exacting the asteroid Sedna, and Sedna, she is the her mythology goes as being like sold to in a relationship or a marriage, and then her father having to come get her, and them getting caught in a crazy storm in this canoe, and as like they're trying to scoop water out, the father throws Sedna off of the boat and cuts her off at the fingertips as she's like hanging on for dear life, and then drowns. And as she's drowning on towards the bottom, she gives birth to all of the Arctic sea creatures.
Hmm.
So it's these progressive pushes in this Taurus or Gemini energy is bringing about a aspect of new birth and new creation as well, and it's by way of the storm. So like, what is like the because I want to keep it elemental, right? I feel like how because there's so much communication coming through with the sun and the Gemini and Uranus all in this tropical mental space, and then the happenings is still happening in the heart. So like, how is the collective, or what would you best say that the collective should practice at this time to balance that head with the heart coherence and the mind with all the happenings and navigating all the progressive pushes and the communications that are happening in these vortexes.
I would say that the thing with Gemini is Gemini gives us options, right? So we like options here in the space of communications. It's a big one right now because we have all these things going on with social media. So social media is a big platform. We have all these options. We have the main ones: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. There are so many others aside from those. On top of telecommunication, we have um, writing, meeting people in person. So I would say what I always tell people, don't wait until you don't have a choice. Get back in the habit of writing letters. Get back in the habit of actually meeting up with people and talking to people, talking to your neighbors, the people around you, because these like Uranus is providing those progressive pushes, pushing you out of your comfort zone in that realm of communication. And we have gotten very comfortable with social media, right? We have gotten very comfortable with, how much we do or don't interact with our community, what we rely on certain members of the community to do or perform versus what we expect ourselves to do or perform. Um, in addition to speaking on air energy, our North Node is also going to be in Aquarius with Pluto, Pluto in Capricorn,
Medically.
constellation, but it would be in Aquarius. So the true node is in Aquarius right now, tropically and Vedically. So the spiritual direction is bringing us more towards, society and being one with the collective while still holding on to your unique self. And I think that's what we're learning as we move into the age of Aquarius too, because, we used to pretend, right? We did a lot of performance. We did a lot of pretending of what a woman should behave like, what a man should behave like, a child should behave like, people in church, people at this job. We did a lot of performance. And that was all Pisces energy, moving as a school of fish. We all had this herd
Suit up and boot
immunity.
up.
Yeah, we had to be together like sardines to survive. That was a survival mechanism. But now in this Aquarius energy, uh, we have to learn to find a balance between being our unique individual selves, as you see a lot of people are rebelling and sometimes being rebels without a cause or being overactive in that I'm an individual, I'm unique, isolate, me. And that's because they're trying to find a balance. When we first get our magic powers, we're shooting them everywhere until we learn how to, control and find balance. It's not about isolation, not about being alone or the first person or the leader or the I of the group. It's about learning how to be that amongst the collective of I's, amongst the collective of leaders, learning how to sit at a round table instead of at the head. And you'll see the universe will continue to weed out those who insist on being at the head of tables. Their secrets coming out, different behaviors, hidden things coming out always, right?
Yeah,
And that's because of Pluto and Aquarius.
yeah. That Pluto in Aquarius is no joke. I feel like there's
No,
uh, intense emotions or like revolutions and transformations happen in the communal spaces, and we're seeing it on the collective level as well, where there's so many different conversations about people wanting more growth, more truth, more things to be revealed, and also having more conversations to be able to like balance those superpowers and those activations and those gifts, because there is, it's feeling, it's like a whole new world. And that so long we like prophesied it, we talked and we preached about this new world and this new age that we stepped into now. And now that we're here, like we were talking about the true no, we're moving into those places of destiny and those places of where we're supposed to be at. And it's given us the new forms and new aspects of communication, new aspects of delivery, new aspects of what it even means to be in relationships, and how partnerships are even supposed to function on personal, collective, on so many different levels. And I really think it's dope how like so many different people are like coming together, like TikTok, for instance. Like there's so many different like rooms and groups and um like I remember like a few weeks ago, I was on a panel of prophets, And that's what one of the ladies she called it. She called it a bed of the prophets because of all of the natural ability of like Earth waking up, nature waking up, everything coming like online, and being able to embody those like authentic experiences and thoughts and downloads in in communal spaces. And with us moving in this energy of like Aquarius, like how do you feel like, well, not even how do you feel, what do you because that's how I feel, feeling like the collective of the earth, of the energy, and feeling the energy of the earth and the collective, tongue tied there, it can be a lot. And that's why I feel like this is one reminder to like breathe. This is a collective reminder to breathe deeper and to be able to slow down things and to have like um, a double take on like clarity, to be able to have like those moments of clarity come through, and also being able to like alchemize in real time to like recognize all the different energies in one space and in the different ecosystems, because we are like we still living in cities, and these cities are interesting.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
all the different like here in New York, just going to like a simple trip to New York, to the city, to Manhattan from like Queens is like an hour train ride at least. And then it's just, you know, the consideration of all the different people and the different energetic vortexes that we're coming into contact with, and being able to properly alchemize those energies to maintain like our true vibrations as well. And seeing how all those different energies like get alchemized and transmuted in this new age, especially with like we're talking about the full moon in Sagittarius, really. Even though it's going to be a blue moon, it's only a blue moon because it's the second full moon of this month, and it's happening on the last day of the month as well. Um,
Mhm.
so I feel like this May portal, this whole month of May, has really been about the power of the moon, because the moon is exalted in Taurus as well. So I feel like this lunar energy is really showing us the different aspects that are being reflected in all of our emotions, our heart spaces, and where we're growing. And where we're growing is that Jupiter energy too. Jupiter is the planet of that growth and expansion, the luck and the protection. And we, in a few short weeks, I feel like we're being part of this blue moon portal is stepping us into this Jupiter and Venus conjunction. And I feel like that energy is um, highlighting our relationships, expanding our relationships. It's really giving us like the space and the opportunities to highlight and grow within those relationships as well.
Mhm.
On a elemental level, how do you feel like the waters are being affected? Because it all life starts with the waters, and I've noticed that there's a lot of feminine energies related to the earth and the water elements, celestially speaking. So how do you feel like that energy is going to be helping us grow and transmute?
Um, a lot of the energy with the waters is dealing with uncovering hidden things. As you know, like, a lot of things is, hidden in water. We got, Cancer energy that is behind the claws and the crab shell. You have Scorpio energy that's behind the stinger and the claws. And then Pisces is the dark waters. And so, we have these different levels, and we have a lot of planetary placements that deal with things being hidden in these spaces. Like, Neptune is in its home space in that Pisces constellation. I know we're in Aries mindset, so the mindset is on new beginnings and being motivated and ambitious, and aligning that Piscean energy to your solar plexus chakra. And that's why a lot of things are still in planning, still in motion. Doesn't fully mean like doesn't fully feel like it's happening yet. Like, the spiritualists are getting impatient because their mind is in Aries. Neptune is in Aries. What's going on? Like, I see these things. I feel, these things. I have these frequencies. They're getting more and more intense. However, Neptune is still in that Pisces constellation. So it's still things moving in those deep waters. And then we have, like I was speaking on earlier, Lilith, the dark side of the moon, the hidden side of our emotions, our intuition, our comfort zone. It's sitting in Scorpius energy. And it's like, those things that we hide about ourselves, the is actually what's supposed to empower us. We have to learn how to use those things about us instead of hide them. So why are we hiding them? And, like I was saying, the full moon is over there and Scorpius, bringing in that nurturing intuition. It would definitely be a good time to take a bath, to put your feet in water, and try to make intentions to uncover things about yourself, reveal, you know, things, because a lot of your triggers are not from this life. A lot of times we try to find reason from something that happened now. Like, oh, I remember when I was 5, when I was 12, when I was whatever. But it's not always necessarily this life. This could have been something that you had always been, hiding or embarrassed about from another life. And you've been attracting more experiences to feed that insecurity in this life, because that's how energy works, right? So you have that happening there too. And then Cancer energy, we have the second house in Cancer energy, and that's that Venusian energy of love and togetherness, and our bonds, and how we beautify things, and our connectivity to earth. And so it's all about nurturing earth. As we nurture and uncover those parts of self, we're also nurturing, what mother has given us. When we try to hide things about ourselves, when we try to shame other people and things they hide about themselves, we're not fully embracing and nurturing, everything about us as a collective, as one. You know what I mean? We're saying that, the universe made a mistake. We're saying that, this isn't good enough. We're telling Gaia this isn't good enough. What I think in my mind is actually better than, the creator is thinking. And, you know, I hate that age word. I'm trying to think of a different word.
Me though, because it's very perplexed to me dealing with the waters. Like I said before, all life comes from the waters, and I feel like people have become so accustomed to the convenience, or the dopamine and the serotonin receptors being so easily triggered with like this Pluto and Aquarius, like the transformations in the community as well, because everything has its good and its equal opposite. And with that, it's like the life has to be given the respectful time to like curate and like be developed over time. It's like building a Lego piece. It's like you have 740 pieces to this puzzle, or to this project that you want to build, and you have to take your time. You can't just go at it head on. Things have to be like properly prepared for, like you were saying earlier, and being able to do the knowledge, do the research, do the science, do the math, to really get to the inner workings of how one is functioning on a day-to-day basis, because it's a part of that flow. The water is the flow too. And for me as a Cancer, that's why I keep track of the moon so much, because of how those transits and aspects and things can shift my emotions. If I don't even feel happy, I'm not going to eat, and I like to eat. Okay.
Mhm.
And being mindful of like how our dietary or eating habits are affecting us, and like we are being integrated with so many different frequencies and foods, and like stimulants that the waters are feeling and having to alchemize. Like the water is the womb of the mother, and the it's also the ruler of the waters is the moon. It's, you know, the government lol, the governmental bodies or the waters that are governed by the moon are like celestial or planetary regarding the earth perspective. And
Mhm.
like being in that space of like relativity to the womb itself and how it relates to like this the 13 moon cycles, and like 13 being the most mystic number in the universe allegedly. You know, don't quote me on that, but you know, we know the truth. And how this the cycles of the moon are played out in different like layers and levels, right? And because we over here talking about giving recognition to the Virgo moon team and to this upcoming blue moon, full moon in Sagittarius. How do you feel like this relationship or energy between the moon and the earth, and the moon and the earth energies and the moon and the fire energies are being affected with this portal at this time?
Well, this will be a resting space for the earth energy, as the moon will be in apogee. So it'll be like the furthest, distance from the earth. And so that's why this moon will be very good for uncovering and revealing and digging. You will have to dig. You will have to, like, certain moons we get, revelations and the spiritual interactions and the aha moments and the downloads come at surface level for us very easily. But in this moon, we're being asked to dig, to to have intentions. Don't think it's just going to be something you want to, la 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 walk into. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have to do some work. Um, and that's and and that is the part of having flowers. The flowers bloom, but the flowers, you gotta do some work to do that. To have a second flower moon is beautiful. Like you said, we started the first one on the first of the month. So coming here at the last day of the month, about to go into the month of six. Six deals with equality. With this,
Six.
yes, yes, what we put in is what we get out on that equality. So having this moon calling on us to dig, like dig, do the do a whole ritual. I know that a lot of us are getting into that space where, and again, this is where I come into social media, with the whole, this is my celestial law. I realize that I don't need to do moon rituals and blah 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 anymore because I've graduated from that. So all of you need to be graduated from that right now, or you're not spiritual enough. Like, this is one of those moons where do the rituals, do the prayers, do all the pretty things, do the more energy you put into it, you're going to get back. You're like setting a beautiful tone to the universe of how much effort you're willing to put into something. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, we go to our altar and we say, we do the 3 second prayer. God is great, God is good, thank you. Can I have this? Okay, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it comes to me that easy, pathway of ease. It comes to me that easy. And that's cool, but how strong are the roots of a plant that grows so easy?
Right.
How many seasons can that plant withstand? What kind of plant are you trying to plant? Are you trying to do all 4 seasons, or you just wanted something for a week, a moment? Like you said, the instant gratification could get in the way. And that's why I like that, the waters are definitely being supported with that dig deeper energy with Lilith and Scorpio, Neptune and Pisces. We also have Pallas and Pisces. Pallas deals with our inner genius. Again, another opportunity to dig. When we're digging on our psyche here now, what are those talents that you keep overlooking in yourself that are just like waiting to be tapped into? We also have the midheaven here. Midheaven is telling us, hey, you dig into this Pisces, this is where the success is going to be at for you. Vesta is always also here, the Vestal fire, which is interesting because there was a fire in Korea. One of the temples, one of the fires that's been burning for 1,000 years, burned the temple down.
Wow.
And I immediately thought of Vesta, and I was like, "Where is Vesta at right now? Because this cannot be good." investors over there in Pisces with Neptune and Saturn, in the Pisces constellation. They all are, yes, in Aries zodiac at the moment. So they are in that space of fire and the thought process of things. But how it's happening is there's endings happening here in that Vestral fire because you think of a temple in Korea that has, the Vestral fire in there, but people that go there, they have this fire about them, this desire about them, and that abrupt fire is bringing in something new. Embrace the desire to want to interact with people. Definitely, 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 because we're mostly water. And the deeper you dig into your intellectual exchanges or emotional or financial or sexual or whatever you want to do, the more for some people, it's easier for them to dig into others to see themselves. And that's perfectly fine. Again, we come to these people that say, if you don't know how to heal by yourself, if you don't know how to find the answers by yourself, if you don't know it's all within and just do it yourself, you're not doing it. Please don't fall into the isolation trap. We didn't come here to be isolated beings. You know what I'm saying? We are stronger together in all facets. And yes, some things you will feel like you need to do alone, but this isn't that. Okay. So if digging with a group of people, having group journaling, group order situation and things like that, that's definitely welcome because Sagittarius is about abundance. It's about indulging, right? Nurture your desire to indulge with reason, of course. Use your intuition here. Now for the you talked about the gates of the moon. So like with the human design, do all the planets have like a gate that they are at or how does that?
Yes. So for the upcoming full moon in Sag, right? The moon is gonna be in the gate 9, which is it can be the gate of extremes, but it's also the gate of like focusing here in the now. It's gonna be in the fourth line. So to answer your question, yes, all the planets are gonna be in highlighting a specific gate. So in
Okay.
so the human design system is founded off of the I Ching and the astrology, tropical astrology, and like the Kundalini chakra systems. So we have 9 chakras or centers in the body graph in the human design chart, and with that, it's able to give us the different line by line. So where um, it takes the astrological wheel and it puts a hexagram on it, and the hexagrams come from the I Ching. Now each hexagram has 6 lines, and those 6 lines they build up or they make the different foundations of each hexagram, and they are rooted in the elements in traditional Chinese medicine as like water, earth, fire, and air, and metal. Well, in traditional Chinese medicine, the 5 elements are metal, wood, earth, fire, and water. But the translation for that over into the human design system is for them to be able to stack from each trigram, and 2 trigrams together they make up a hexagram. And a trigram is representative of the Bagua, which goes back to more ancient traditional systems. So with the moon being in gate 9 at the fourth line is the line of experimentation. So we're being asked to focus on where we have been experimenting, where we have started new projects, where new opportunities have begun, because um, this energy is really about getting into where our pleasures are, where are we seeking pleasure, where are we being satisfied, and being able to maintain proper regiment within our satisfactions, within our cravings, within our earthly pleasures, within our desires, as the sun is going to be highlighted in the gate 16, and that gate 16 is the gate of enthusiasm in the original I Ching, and this enthusiasm is here to bring us about having the proper enthusiasm to bring about the right solutions, to be able to hold the space to create miracles and to have miracle opportunities happen in real time or in the now time, and have things synchronistically and naturally align as well. Because with this proper enthusiasm in the original I Ching, it talks about being able to recognize and rise through the different levels of how the energy blossoms in that particular way. So moving, like going down the different like chart lines for the day, it's um it's going to be a conjunction between the moon and the earth in the gate 9. So we're really going to be feeling all the different energies of the fire. We're going to be feeling um that fire in the mind, the fire in the thought. Like I said earlier, conversations around travel are happening as well, and because we also have Mars in this in Taurus energy, and it's in the gate 2. Or excuse me, it's in the gate 24 in the second line, and all second lines they carry a hermiting energy. But here in the gate 24 with Mars, it's helping us move on our passions and ground those passions and in the material realm with this gate 24, which carries the gate of silence, but it also carries the gate of invention as well. So this is like Sunshine was saying earlier, this is the time to go into like creativity mode and to be able to invent and focus on the different types of passion-based projects that we've been inventing, and have the relationships and connections to uh, have those triggers available, like to like shock the different communities into the states of awareness. And one thing about like this shock or these abrupt changes, it's coming from a space of liberation. So all of these experiences are here to liberate us and propel us forward in our spaces of relationships and in the spaces of presence, because Uranus is in the gate 20 with Sedna, and that gate 20 is the gate of the now. So all of the sudden and abrupt changes are happening in this now moment, or happening in a feeling of now, which is also giving more pressure to the collective, because this is that Gemini tropical energy. So in the mind, excuse me, we're all being like asked to think about what we're communicating, think about what we're feeling, and recognize when we're going through these different like thoughts and downloads and desire to create, desires to express in the now moment, and be able to see like how this energy is being born in. This is really like the time of new beginnings, because we're also in a universal year of one. So this and it's a fire horse year. So with this fire horse year, the year of the one, it's a lot of new beginnings, it's a lot of passion on the undercurrent overall. So this is like, I feel like this blue moon is the only blue moon of the year, and it's really asking us and to feel more deeper into the things that we're creating, the things that we're originating. Because with Pluto in Aquarius right now, it's sitting in the gate 41, and in human design, the gate 41 is where all things originate. So Pluto is sitting in the space. Pluto, that transformative energy, is sitting in the space of origin, of new beginnings, and specifically the gate 41 with this Pluto energy is it's a specific codon ring where we are literally going through a space in time where new cellular structures, new genetic structures, new DNA codes are being weaved and coming online. New gifts and abilities are being activated and coming online by the power of the mind as well, because it's um, as well as being able to show up in community. That's the like the Aquarius energy, and it's being able to be your authentic self, to show up and be a revolutionary, to be that transformative pillar within the community, to show up and show out and be ready to stand firm on the type of new ideas, new projects. Because when I speak about this, it makes me consider the next generation, because Aquarius is, opposes Leo, which is the children and the the heart. And thinking about like how the children and the communities and the generations, because Pluto was generational, it's we are ushering in a new generation of projects, of ideas, of a way of being. And we're approaching a precipice or a nexus point of transportation or transformation, because right now we are experiencing the sun in gate 20 and the earth in gate 34, where we have this the incarnation cross of the sleeping phoenix. And the human design system has this entire prophecy about the cross of the sleeping phoenix in 2027, where the collective nodal axis is shifting into the gate 40, that Aquarius gate 41, and um, the reflective or programming partner in the Leo gate. And with this axis of energy, that's how I like to consider the wheel, as axes, to be able to bridge the energies to come together, to like really like highlight how the new information is coming through for not just ourselves, but for our families, for our children, for our siblings, and being able to see how this phoenix energy is allowing a lot of things to be burnt away. Just like at the beginning of the year, people were talking about the snake energy and shedding all the scales of the snake to hop on that that horse's back and ride the horse. And you know, I think it's so cute, because like for me being a unicorn, it's like being able to wave and weave the magic wand to bibbity bobbity boop in any space and place that we create. And as we're like shedding off and we're using our wands, because the wands is the fire element, we're using that fire, that internal spark, the internal electricity to really cultivate and give birth. Because supreme mathematics, nine is born, and nine is also Mars, more fire. And all this fire energy and symbolism is really invoking and bringing us forward into the year of the goat in Chinese astrology, which is where we're stepping into next year. So all these different systems, they integrate because it's rooted in the same like space time, and that's the that Jupiter energy as well.
Yeah, I agree. Especially with like all the fire going on. This is definitely the year of taking action. You're here to act on things, overact, just act. This is not time. Like
Lots
last
of
year. Go
lot of
ahead.
expression.
Yeah, definitely. And don't it like, fire is fluid, move like fire, study the way fire moves, how fire, you know, doesn't it it doesn't go out. The wind blows, of course, the water comes, of course, and it just moves. It just flows out the way. It just flows to where it's supposed to be. It like rides on waves and frequencies. If you play certain music that has like that woofer frequency, and you'll see the flame kind of dance to it, and you know, just learn to move in that way of, you know, we're taking action, we're being motivated and ambitious without the anxiety, without feeling pressure, because there's no pressure in fire, you know. Um the solid, the weight part of fire, that's what the fire stands on. I stand on the pressure. I stand on the weight to do the things. It's actually supporting me, you know,
Uh,
rather than discouraging me. And so that's a kind of way to move. I personally am a metal horse, and so being in this space and uh doing better with decision making, learning how to make decisions, because I'm a metal horse and it's cool and I like to be on the move and I don't like restriction, but I also have a lot of Virgo placements that pull me into that overthinking, over analyzing that can stagnate me from taking action when I'm supposed to. So like I have my own tug of wars with it. A lot of my battles are inside of me.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna hold you.
I
I've been
think
having a whole day over here.
and I think it's interesting too because it reminds me of like the pineal gland and like that fire in the mind. And one thing that I observe in like my study of fire is like the dancing of the flame, and like how if you ever had like a glass candle, how the flame can reflect, and sometimes you'll see like two or three different flames in there and look like
Mhm.
showing up. And I think it's really interesting how like when something is on fire, the you don't see the flame, you don't see the flame on the thing, but you see the fire around it. It's like it's like an aura almost. And
Mhm.
fire around it is in essence like I heard the nitrogen, but it's like the fuel because it needs that room to breathe, right? And I feel like fire works as a medium of the between where it's not necessarily like the thing that's on fire is hot, but it's also a space in between before it gets to that blue hue and then become
Mhm.
orange flame. And I guess that speaks to the intensity of the heat as well, but also that protection energy of the fire because that's that sacral energy, that internal gut, and that's also the gut that controls the mind, especially speaking on the Virgo energy. And in that essence, it's really important to be able to adapt and to flow and to grow with the different celestial energies that came to mind as the self, like knowing that we're secure, knowing that we're safe, knowing that we're getting the clarity to in in every now moment, because I say we're always growing, like at
Mhm.
the point of life, and to be grateful for each and every one of those moments as well. And I like to recall the scripture in the Quran. It says, when you're grateful, I'll give you more." So also applying the practice of appreciation and giving thanks and giving gratitude has been super supportive and transformative for this journey as well, to maintain the essence of peace and to keep the family in a protected, not only just protected, but in a space of uh, easy growth, because I feel like there's been a rush within like the collective energy, and being able to slow down that rush, slow down that fire, and turn the that smoke into some steam with by being balanced with the water and incorporating and integrating with the water and that steam. When I was growing up, it was that was the big topic of conversation in school. It was science, technology, engineering, math, arts, and mathematics, and
Mhm.
those were the pillars and the foundation of the roots to be able to, and that goes into that metal energy as well, because metal is another like form of plasma, or like it's the color white 111, or like gray in the on the medicine wheel. And like I'm a metal dragon, so like I'm well aware of like how the metal energy can show up, especially when we're dealing with the energy of Saturn, because
Mhm.
like Saturn's magic square, it has the numbers 1 through 9 and all sides equal up to 15. And in my studies I've come to know it as the low shoe. And in that, it's the ability to communicate like the and navigate the mappings of the soul. And that's, soul is the soul of our 2 feet, but that's also the soul of the sun and the heart. And being able to place the sun internally and see it externally to be recharged, to be nourished, it's like being able to properly fortify our structures around our experiences.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's really like knowing that we're stepping into a space of embodiment and being and bliss, essentially, is what it is, what the underlying energy or current feels like, especially on the modality of fire. So we covered the fire, we covered the earth, we covered the water, we covered the air, all from the gracious space of the ethers. I was wondering, what do you feel like the accumulation of all the elemental energy is gonna look like stepping on out on the other side of this portal? What are your intentions?
We can see Earth, our physical reality, being transmuted uh, tremendously. The things that we've depended on, we've relied on, the structure, infrastructure, spiritually, financially, as a community, opportunities, all these different ways, will definitely they're definitely being transformed. We could see the water element being, um, where we can go to find those deep answers, solutions, going deep into your nervous system, learning to regulate your nervous system, tapping into Akashic records, pineal gland, coming into, people having conversations about the first, how did it all start, getting into the deep roots of the things and uncovering the secrets and all the things that we see a lot of that happening, a lot of those things being uncovered, and a lot of that is going through the waters. Even people that I don't know what they call them, like professionally, but like, deep sea divers, the more people explore the water, the more things are going to be revealed. And now we see like there's a war on the water, with data centers on the land, you know.
And the GPTs and the resources. That's one thing my mom continuously talks about is how the technology is affecting the earth herself and our resources.
And that's going to uncover some truths too, because it's going to show a cycle that we keep repeating with this versus mentality that we have. Instead of it being complementary, we like to replace, erase, and replace. And until we learn cohesion, coexistent, covalent, we learn to, remove, certain mentalities towards like codependency, just learning how to cohabitate, all these different codes, cooperation. We love it here. CO, what is that? 3 6? That's 369 right there. CO is 9. And we need that. We need the CO. We need the carbon dioxide. That's what we release is that connectivity, you know. So CO is 2 letters to really hold on to. We know that the bond in water is what makes water so strong. So again, uncovering things, healing certain bonds that we have, uh, transgenerational wounds, societal wounds, all these different things, as we uncover them, loosening our bonds with certain things, and then tightening our bonds with others, and that's big on the waters. Um, and then we have, air, is about expansion and abundance, getting more intellectual. And so here is where another battle lies. We talked about the battle on water. Well, here goes the battle on air is um intellect, intelligence. A lot of us are going the artificial intelligence route. Remember that word artificial in the front. Remember what meta is. Meta is dead. Remember these words that we're using, a lot of these tools are being utilized to put us in this kind of like vegetative state to where like, AI is the thinker for us, you know? And so it's not just a war on the spirituality of the waters and things like that. It's also a war on your mind, your intellect, your attention span,
The
your
men-
focus. your information retention, your critical thinking skills, your communication skills is a big one. Learning how to communicate with other people, especially people you disagree with, people that you might, have to talk things out about with, agree to disagree, whatever, whatever. We just have to learn how to communicate better as a whole. And so we'll find a lot of you'll see more social media hurting happening. Those people that get seen the most creating boxes for other people to flow into, and people who don't really like to think for themselves easily flowing into those boxes. Don't be swayed. A lot of those are robot accounts to make you feel like so many numbers are flowing into so many boxes so that you can be motivated or triggered in your fire energy to take action and project a reality that these beings are designed to make you believe is happening. So now you're saying, well, all these people are saying this and all these people, and it's actually nobody. So the play on your intelligence was successful, because now it has you projecting that reality get injected in you. And that's how things go viral, is it not?
Yeah, yeah, it's really interesting to see, especially like when I think about TikTok, because it's so easy to be emotionally like triggered or engaged by some of the content or conversations that's going on, and being able to really like go back within myself and be like, okay, was the space, or was that group chat, or was that alive really the one that I wanted to be in, or was it just the one that the algorithm was feeding, and
Mm-hmm.
and being in charge and standing in that inner authority and that and the personal power to like say like, okay, that was great. Okay, enough is enough. Okay, this is for me. Okay, well, they teaching. It's like so many different like perspectives, especially when coming online into those different portals and vortexes. It's a lot of information from different spaces, and people have been what I what I remember is how people are agreeing over opinions and calling them facts,
Mm-hmm.
and really doing the research, like sifting through those details, sifting, doing the work, get into the details, get into the nitty gritty, and really finding, the aspects and the portals and the perceptions of the self that allow us to be in the rooms and the communities that allow us to be seen and recognized for our merits and our worth and what we actually offer, rather than just the performative, or commentative or reactive triggers from the social politics and the socialisms and being politically correct at all, and even dealing with the spiritual and the physical aspects of it, knowing that like the physical traits and the physical like 9 to 5s and the currency systems are all going through their senses, their like experiences and spaces of transformation and change. And then spiritually, like the download that was, we were experiencing was like everything being upgraded, everything being uploaded, and everything being shifted into a new paradigm, into a paradigm where we are creating and we are the creators of our reality, and we are co-creating with each other in this reality. And it's essential to be able to have those conversations with people that we agree with, the people that we don't agree with, and be able to find balance and create those bridges for unity, for ubuntu, for abundance, and really walking in that power of knowing what it takes to sit at that round table, to be in the pulpit, to be one amongst the collective, to be in your own sense of self, and I think it's really beautiful to see how the emergence of like stability and the foundations of where we've been anchored in is coming into fruition, where the possibilities of light in this dark matrix are being revealed, because it's really a blessing to be able to come together with tribe and community build and share ideas and collective and thoughts, and build upon the sciences. So we give honor and gratitude to the blue moon miracles and the magical alignments. Right now,
Absolutely.
I just
Oh,
want
yeah, and the last one is fire. So I just wanted to let fire know I ain't leave y'all out. Uh, y'all are the fire energy is in a good space. If you acting like I was telling y'all before, like just move like fire. You have eerie, not eero. We have eros, love over there in Leo. So romance in the air, love and your creativity. You know, moving in your heart and gratitude, that's what's going to bring your abundance. That's heavy in that Leo, because Leo is like the sun card, being that child walking through the kingdom, having that curiosity, that open heartedness. And then you have in Sagittarius, you have fortune there and the DC line, and we talked about that earlier. That being balance and justice and fairness, and you know, we also have, fortune is pretty self-explanatory. And then in Aries, we have Mars sitting in his home space in Aries. So that desire, that motivation to act, get things done, is there. Also, some of you guys may be feeling overwhelmed or anxious if you have, your Mars in a with like cardinal air, maybe a Libra, may make you feel a little angsty, or even if your Mars is in Cancer, because Cancer is like debilitated, and Mars is debilitated in Cancer because Cancer likes to go inward, or Mars likes to go outward, and right now Mars is in its space to make moves. So you guys may feel that magnet pull you guys even more. Flow into it. Don't fight it with your water. Don't let it get too big with your air. Just flow into it how it's supposed to be. The thing with fire energy is learning to when to be a candle flame versus a forest fire, and learning to flow in whatever space you need to flow into. And another thing that you notice about fire is anything that's not grounded, anything that's not thorough, anything that's not really real for real or sturdy, uh, turns into ash. It gets transmuted into ash. So that's the type time, the fire energy is on. If you see anybody coming into this, like I've had enough, I'm fed up energy, I'm pretty sure they probably have like a Mercury or a Mars in a fire sign. And they're definitely being invoked by this Mars and Aries energy. We also have Chiron there. So a lot of people are moving towards that space of transmuting wounds. Aries is also here, bringing on that warrior like energy and stuff like that. So like I said, wherever your fire is in your chart, maybe some people got a fire rising, whether it's Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. A lot of them being in leadership positions in government, politics, military, activism, nonprofits, communities, because more than any other element, they're the one that's like, I've had enough. I have a solution, and I feel very fired up and passionate about this. And that's because we have these heavy you know, get it done. Let's get it. And fortune and stuff happening here in those fire spaces. So that's for you guys.
gratitude, much gratitude for gracing us with all the elemental codes.
Yeah.
And shout out to the stars for always being the luminaries and highlighting us and guiding us through these navigational and wonderful experiences in the life. It's really a blissful, beautiful treat to sit here and commune with a phenomenal astrologer as you, and we give gratitude to all the human design energies that have came through as well, and recognizing that this is like the beginning of a new portal that we're like opening up and walking into to create miracles, to create abundance, to create prosperity and transformation in the energy of the moon, and knowing that the elementals and the nature spirits are here guiding us and bringing us the proper energies that are going to assist us and help us quantum leap into, or make the quantum leap to work smarter and not harder, and claim our abundance here in the now. So we give gratitude and honor And I just would like to close out with a prayer of miracles for the collective. So, Anabakoik, Gijulat Yamenka, Tatir Tetara, Kabel Renat, Amchad Savanu, Tahara Nunara, Nagabor, Doshe, Kadeka, Kalavat Shamrem, Barkam Taram, Rakame, Tasid Kateka, Tamid Gamblam, Jasin Kadosh, Rav Tufka, Nahala Teka, Yaki Gael, Lam Chapanez, Okresh Tukateka, Shavatanu Kabel, Shmat Zakatanu, Yodea to Alamod, Brukshem, Kavat Malkuto, Gogan That was the Anabakoik, the 42 letter name of God, for us to
Wow.
embody the name and the principles of miracles and miracle embodiment as we move forward with honor and gratitude. Much love from my heart. Peace, peace, peace to all the stars and the star seeds. Much love.
Peace,
Peace.
peace. Thank you for having me.
Much gratitude. Until the next now moment. Peace.
Bye.